Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're going to be checking out a little bit more of BAND-MAID. Now, as you guys might remember, I was saying the other day, hey, it's amazing, I've checked out every BAND-MAID song, and then someone said, hey, you missed one. I was like, haha, got you. Did it. And then I just sort of said in that one, hey, if anyone knows any other BAND-MAID songs I haven't covered, and you guys went, yeah, there's two more. So anyway, they are the B-sides to Always Prepared, Glory, and Bubble. And the two songs in question are Smile and Hide and Seek, I believe. Anyway, the one I'm checking out today is Hide and Seek from the Glory single. If I'm getting this right, if I'm getting it wrong, oh god, you guys are going to crucify me. But I do my best. I'm just very bad at remembering the names of things. Anyway, considering the number of BAND-MAID songs we've checked out now, I must have done like more than 100 videos on this band by now. I'm guessing you guys already know that I'm a big fan of them, seen them live, did a report of that on this video, on this channel as well. And so, you know, but we're always on this channel, we're always critical when it's required. This is a B-side, so I've got, you know, limited expectations for it, but I'm interested because B-sides are a good place to go a little bit more experimental. Now, considering how much these two singles, Glory and Bubble, preceded the Conqueror album, I'm assuming that the B-sides would have been songs that were somewhere in limbo, maybe left over from the previous album, or maybe something that was an experimentation before going into the new album and, you know, sort of locking down what the list was going to be. So I have no idea what to expect from this, but I would like to hear some experimentation. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, enough of me waffling. Let's check this out. This is Hide and Seek by BAND-MAID, and then after we've listened to it, we can have a little bit more of a chat. It's straight rock, but I love that sound. The whole sound is really good from the get-go. The verse feels quite long. I feel like we're building up to something, so I'm interested to see how the chorus goes. Very short. Simple chorus. Maybe not the most memorable or unique, but it really, really works. I hope they milk the chorus a bit more. I love they're doing these little variations in the rhythm and everything as normal to make it more interesting in the verses. A nice little drop out there for the vocals. I love the little vocal rhythm there. It's very playful. Very playful. I really like that. That was really good how they accented the rhythm there.
Oh, nobody can stop me.
This is what I meant about milking the last chorus, you know, building up and adding an extra, maybe an extra melody on top of the one you already have. Do we have a lot to unpack on this one? I think we have enough to unpack on this one. There are things about this that make me think, yes, I understand why this is a B-side and not a single, maybe not an album track. And there are things about this that make me go, wow, yes, more of that, please. Okay, first things first. The initial, the whole sort of sonic sound of the sound of it. does actually fit as a sort of a nice go-between between the sort of heavy, slightly all guitar, all distortion nature of world domination, and yet by the same token it has that slightly more creative, slightly more produced twitch that would make you think more of Twinge, or make you think more of Conqueror. It was very much a guitar song, obviously very much full on with the guitar, but I like if you listen to the production of the guitar elements, there's lots of little sounds, more delicate bits where the guitar's a little bit more squeaky, a little bit more high end, where it's just kind of, there's guitar lines floating over the top of things. So just to get away from the technicals and go to the basics of this, it sounds very full. It runs along really well. The intro is brilliant. The thing which really kind of put me off a little bit was the verses actually were probably the downside of this. And I'll cover the downside before I get onto why I really like this song, because, as always, let's be honest. The verses to me felt a little bit dull in that the melody that Sayaki was singing, as usual, she's singing it with that really sort of full, great voice, but it just felt like the melody felt a little bit tick over for her. At no point and I'm not saying her voice has to be pushed, but at no point did it really feel like she was doing anything more than just kind of singing like a very bare basic melody. So I don't really think that that part really did much to help it. And underneath, you could hear how much work was going with like shifting up the rhythm on the drums, as they usually do in the second verse. They really like to flip things up. There was a lot of interesting things happening in the backing music to fill out the verses, but the verses were just a little bit boring, if I'm honest with you. That's the only real downside of this song. So after we got through the intro, we went to that verse, and we was nearly a minute in before we got to the first chorus, which is nothing wrong with that. But in a charging rock song like this, I guess that's probably a little bit further in than you'd expect to be. And at that point, I got to admit, I wasn't really taken by the song. It hadn't really done anything to sway me over. I was kind of feeling like, oh, this is just kind of BAND-MAID being good at doing like tick over work. But then the chorus hit. Now, the chorus is an interesting one because I'm going to be the first one to admit the chorus, there's nothing clever there. Again, the melody is pretty bare basics, but there was something playful about that sort of thing going on with the delivery. It was very sort of stabby and rhythmic, and it felt suddenly like the song had got this bit of a playful life to it. It was simple and worked in that kind of 90s, I don't want to say pop punk, but like, you know, sort of those garage pop bands you got from the 90s who, you know, it was like a garage grunge band, but they were insistent on playing pop, you know, kind of had that sort of Elastica sort of feel. Or like the Scottish band Biss, not the Japanese band Biss. You know, it had that kind of playful, bouncy, we're not trying to write anything technical here, we're just trying to write something that kind of gets under your skin. And so the chorus actually worked. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's not a chorus for the ages. I'm sure that you can pick out plenty of BAND-MAID choruses alone that are more catchy, maybe more bouncy, just maybe more effective all over. But it worked. It worked in its own sense. And suddenly, when that came in, it gave the song life. It felt like, yeah, okay, now I'm really into this. Then I went back to the second verse and I was like, okay, bring back to the chorus. Because again, you could hear all the effort everyone was putting in, but just without a convincingly well-written melody, it fell apart. And like I say, no discredit to Sayaki for what she was doing. Her performance was great, but it just kind of didn't feel like she was given anything to work with there. And then, like I say, there was even some flip up in the vocal melody, but it just never achieved anything more than just sort of killing time until you get to the second chorus. The chorus is really good again. And then I was sort of thinking, okay, verse is a bit dull, chorus is really fun. What's going to happen in the bridge? The bridge was fantastic. Again, simple, but it worked. I loved how it started with that sort of stabby bit. But what I'm assuming that Konami was doing the lead in the first part of the bridge, although it was so simple, it could well have been Miku. Because, you know, I mean, it sounded like something that anyone could have effectively played that, but it was just one of those things where all the right notes are in the right places. Just a little back and forth on the notes, sort of thing. Just all the right sounds are in the right place. That it sounded kind of had that sort of cheeky, expressive, it felt well written. It felt like there was more personality than there was twiddle. Which meant that then when you were going to get into that second part of the verse where Konami goes full solo, it feels earned. It suddenly feels earned. And it was a good solo, short but good, short and sweet, but it felt earned because you kind of felt like you'd been built up to it. You had a good second chorus, then you had that sort of stabby breakdown, but still, you know, it wasn't just sort of, I mean, you can always just go quiet and then throw into the guitar solo, which is, yeah, your simple sort of by the numbers, works very well, but everyone knows it approach. But this was nice how, like I said, they broke down to something more stabby, kept it heavy, and then ran into the solo. And then, yeah, last chorus, like I say, they milked it nicely. They went in, they did the chorus bit, and then they flipped up the vocals a bit. There was nothing in here that we haven't heard before. But it worked. Very much convincing as a B-side. I would say maybe if someone was saying, hey, we've got a single coming out and we want to put this as a B-side, I would be sort of, well, no one really has been saying this except for the band, honestly. I mean, especially if it's going to be a B-side. But I would be saying, can we do anything to tighten up the verses a little bit? Can we just tighten them up? You know, make this, maybe even take this from a 3-minute song, chop it down enough to get it down to 2 minutes 30 or something, and just keep it as a concise bit of everything's fantastic, no extra weight, no extra flab on it. But, you know, either way, I can't complain about this. Really good song. Yes, it's not going to be like a legendary one. And yes, I do admit it was a good choice to put this as a B-side. But yes, also, if this is one where you're in the crowd and suddenly they start playing this live, you're going to be like, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. So yeah, great song. Great surprise as a B-side. Enjoyable. And that leaves me, I believe, with only one more song to listen to, which I believe is called Smile. Because BAND-MAID have this horrible habit of not writing the names of the B-sides on the back. I believe it's called Smile. I checked inside earlier when I was looking at the booklet. So that's the one I'm going to be checking out next. But anyway, for now, from Japan, as always, get in the comments. Tell me what you think as a BAND-MAID fan or not a BAND-MAID fan. As someone who's heard this song or has not heard this song, get in there and tell me what you think. And then we can discuss it. And if you want to get more into the discussion, remember there's also a link in the description below to our Discord and Reddit where we do a little bit more nattering all around the clock. And Reddit's a good place if you want to suggest more songs to me as well, because that's where I'll definitely see it. We have like a Reddit suggestion thread for new songs. And if you like what we do here, there's always the Patreon. Don't worry. If you ain't got the money, then just like and subscribe and be loyal to us. Loyalty, yes, commanding loyalty. It's a very YouTube thing to do. But anyway, main thing is, as long as you enjoy the videos, looking forward to see you again soon on the next one. And for now, from Japan, thank you so much for tuning in, and ciao ciao. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out more of our hundreds of videos we got online on this channel right now, or get involved in the discussion with us at the many social media links we've got in the description below, where you can suggest new videos and artists for us to check out on the channel. Or you can just do the usual YouTube stuff and, you know, comment, like, subscribe. You know how this works by now.